6 o'clock news starts right now.
The Texas trigger ban on abortion takes effect today, 2 months after the U.S. Supreme Court ruled to overturn the federal right to abortions.
Pregnant women cannot be prosecuted, but the new law does increase penalties for abortion providers. They face no less than a $100,000 fine and up to life in prison.
Alicia Barrera spoke to abortion providers on the effects of the law for pregnant people in and out of Texas.
When it comes to abortions in Texas, providers say not much has changed in the last 2 months.
We haven't been able to provide abortions in Texas since the end of June.
That's because in July, the Texas Supreme Court said an abortion trigger law that dates back to 1925 can be enforced.
And that is layered on top of the Texas 6-week ban, which we are coming up on the year anniversary of. So abortion has been functionally banned in Texas for almost a year. Actually banned for a couple of months.
Unless dealing with a medical emergency, performing an abortion in Texas, even from the moment of fertilization, is a felony and is causing confusion.
Doctors and hospitals are afraid to provide that care, and folks have been denied or the care has been delayed. And we expect that to continue and to worsen when the penalty for making a mistake in this situation is life in prison.
The punishment? Up to life in prison and a fine no less than $100,000, which is why providers, including Alamo Women's Reproductive Services, relocated to New Mexico, opening their doors this week.
We are going to be open on Saturdays, and just on Saturday alone, we have about 30 patients scheduled for Saturday.
And while illegal in Texas, some district attorneys, including in Bexar County, say they won't bring criminal charges in these cases, possibly causing even more confusion for providers and those seeking an abortion. Reporting Alicia Barrera, KSAT 12 News.
We've got some new information in connection with a deadly shooting along I-35 3 months ago. You may remember this one. An arrest has been made in the case. 34-year-old Jeremiah Nevadas was charged with the murder of 29-year-old Andrew Ronhell on May 4th. Investigators say Nevadas actually pulled up alongside Ronhell in the southbound lanes near Benz Engelman and shot at him. The bullet went through the passenger door of Ronhell's car and then hit him. Ronhell crashed into a median wall, ran off the highway, and crashed into a tree. Police say a witness recorded the shooting and the crash and helped lead authorities to Nevadas.
It took a jury today 2 hours to find a man who claimed self-defense guilty of murder. Richard Vallejo has been on trial this week for killing a man who was trying to repossess his tires in 2020. Vallejo took the stand before the jury deliberated today. Erica Hernandez shares what he had to say in his defense.
He was here for my family. He wasn't here for tires or money.
28-year-old Richard Vallejo told jurors today about how he was scared for his family after seeing text messages from Andrew Gomez that he was at his parents' house. According to prosecutors, Gomez was there to speak to Vallejo about tires he owed on. Vallejo claims self-defense after he shot and killed Gomez. The prosecutor asked Vallejo why he didn't call police while he was on his way to his parents.
You realize that the police can't help you make sure that everything's okay if you don't call them ahead of time, right?
I guess.
Okay, but you wanted to handle it yourself, basically.
No, ma'am, I didn't say that.
Oh.
That's what you're interpreting.
And the prosecutor further grilled Vallejo about his self-defense claim and the moments leading up to the shooting as he walked toward Gomez with gun in hand.
What you think you hear, what the detective thinks they hear, is not what happened.
What was it that made you in fear for your life to continue to pull the trigger 5 more times, even as Andrew is falling to the ground?
You have no control over what happens in that moment.
His testimony wasn't enough, and the jury did find him guilty. The punishment phase for Vallejo began right after the verdict was read. The jury could sentence him anywhere from 5 to 99 years or life in prison. Erica Hernandez, KSAT 12 News.
8 days of testimony in the Michelle Barrientos Vela public corruption trial leading to this. A county employee who worked for the former constable breaks away and turns state's witness. Former Precinct 2 clerk Susan Tristan testified for hours about the chaotic make up the rules as they go environment inside the Precinct 2 constable's office. Tristan told the court she resigned in the fall of 2019, shortly after the Texas Rangers and the FBI raided Barrientos Vela's county offices. Tristan and a second civilian employee described to the jury the destruction of paperwork and creating of new security agreements that took place while the constable was still in charge.
How do you know that the constable created this other security agreement?
I was there at the time when they were creating it.
And this particular document, there's some handwriting on it. Whose handwriting is that?
Michelle Vela.
But you are certain that the administration that told you to destroy documents was Constable Vela's administration?
That is correct.
Barrientos Vela faces up to 10 years in prison if convicted. This trial focuses solely on accusations that she tampered with park security logs and then eventually turned over fake records. Week 1 testimony expected to wrap up tomorrow, and you can watch the entire proceedings on KSAT.com, KSAT Plus, or on the KSAT YouTube channel.
San Antonio police hoping for some new information that will lead to the arrest of whoever shot and killed a man on the west side back in May. 17-year-old Jonathan Rodriguez in his car in a parking lot in the 1500 block of Babcock when this happened. It was on the night of May 17th when someone shot him. The gunman then pushed Rodriguez's body out of that car and drove away in it. That car later found abandoned, but the suspect has not been found. Tips that lead to an arrest could be worth a cash reward from Crime Stoppers. Call 210-224-STOP.
A TxDOT in the city of San Antonio cleared out a downtown homeless camp underneath I-37 this morning. Not the first time they've done this, but could it be the last in that spot? A TxDOT spokeswoman says the agency plans to actually fence off much of an area from a little above Hayes Street down to Nolan Street under I-37. Something it's already working on. The head of a community mutual aid group helping people from that camp relocate told KSAT 12 that's a complicated question, whether they should have been allowed to actually stay where they were.
They don't deserve to be living under an underpass. No one does. However, it is unfortunately one of the best solutions we have right now as a community for unhoused folks to stay together and be centralized and close to resources.
Not all of the area will be fenced off. A portion in the middle where there are plans to lease out to a developer would be left open. By the way, when we checked about an hour ago on this spot, tens of people were actually moving back into an area that we showed you had earlier been cleared out.
Let's take a look at traffic out there right now. We're going to go to the camera I-35 at New Braunfels. The southbound lane's a little slower. Heading into downtown, we don't have really any details on why that may be. No details on wrecks or construction in the area, but it is I-35 at 6 o'clock, so something to watch for out there. 5 years ago today, Hurricane Harvey hit the Texas coast. You remember those images, incredible flooding and homes and businesses ripped apart.
And since then, recovering has been an ongoing process. Meteorologist Justin Horn live along the coast tonight in Rockport. Justin.
Good evening, y'all. I want to show you this statue here behind me, this crab statue, and it may not look like much, but during Hurricane Harvey, this crab statue was blown into the bay and disappeared. Just recently, an artist recreated the statue and brought it back, and it actually means a lot here to the folks in Rockport, and it's good to see it back. There was a lot of destruction here. You can still see it around town. Piers damaged, lots where homes used to be, and after all, this was the strongest hurricane to hit Texas since Hurricane Carla in 1961. It brought winds up to 130 miles per hour, gusts to 145 miles per hour. Not only that, it stalled and would end up dumping record rainfall in Texas. Here's something that's interesting, too. The Chamber of Commerce here in Rockport is opening an exhibit here today called Rock Solid, Our Journey of Resilience, giving a play-by-play of the hurricane and the city's resilience thereafter. We'll have more on that tonight at 10. In the meantime, for the Rockport-Fulton community, with back to school underway, each new school year is meaningful. It leaves the devastation of Hurricane Harvey in the past and pushes healing forward. Courtney Friedman shows us that this disaster only brought the school community closer.
Pretty sure that this belongs on the roof.
5 years later, the painful memories still sit right on the surface.
It's still emotional. So it was rough. It was a rough time for all of us.
Ron DeMeath was the assistant principal at Rockport Fulton High School when the Hurricane Harvey's eye bore down on their town.
I think every school sustained some level of damage. Our central office has been completely demolished. They had to tear that completely down.
Back door to central office.
5 years ago, Aransas County ISD Operational Services Director Norm Spears captured the damage to the high school, where Meath is now principal. Her school took the brunt of the damage, rendering most of it unusable, sending students to neighboring schools.
When the kids were allowed to come back, the power was restored. The classrooms in this wing of the school were the only ones that were available to use that had no damage.
It wasn't until just this year that we finally got all of the roof leaks fixed.
Small steps. Now these beautiful spaces are even more equipped than last year to welcome students back.
It may not look like much, but this spot is very special to us. During the storm, I was doing live shots right here in feet of water in front of what was a blown out gymnasium.
The gym where Aransas County ISD Athletic Director Jay Siebert oversaw practices, games, memory-making events.
Gonna need a new scoreboard.
He remembers a question his son asked him as they drove back into town the day after Harvey hit.
What are we going to do? You know, everything's destroyed, and I said, son, we're going to have to pick it up, you know, just like any other mess.
And that's what they did.
That afternoon, there was probably about 10 to 15 kids that came up, and we actually cleaned the football field.
That day, those athletes became part of a much bigger team.
A kid came by and he said, hey, my parents need some help, and we actually drove her, all got in cars, drove her, and helped clean their house. And then it kind of became a thing. I think one day out here in the parking lot, we probably had 200 kids.
With a team that strong and dedicated, a win was inevitable.
5 years later, you know, I think our town is more beautiful and nicer than it was before.
The beauty he's talking about doesn't just lie in shiny new buildings. It lies in the love that Harvey was clearly never able to shake. Courtney Friedman, KSAT 12 News.
Incredible resiliency. And coming up tomorrow, Courtney Freeman will have even more from the coast, including how the oldest building in Port Aransas is keeping history alive by rebuilding time after time and after disaster. We're going to have more on that tomorrow. Meantime, if you want to see more of our coverage about the 5-year anniversary of Hurricane Harvey, you can click on this QR code or you can visit KSAT.com. Reporting live in Rockport, Justin Horn, KSAT 12 News.
Resilience in Rockport Fulton. Thank you, Justin.
You know, so often it is feast or famine when it comes to rain. Here 5 years later, we just want a little bit of help. Would go a long way. Adam.
And, you know, we have had some decent rainfall the past few days in some spots. Not everybody's gotten it, but it did help boost the aquifer a little bit today. You look at the radar right now, not much left out there. 2 highly isolated showers down south of Cuero. This evening, a 10% chance. That's the best we can do. 92 degrees right now. By 8 o'clock will be 86, and 10 o'clock, 83 degrees at that point. I do anticipate rain chances to rise again. I'll tell you when in just a bit.
Welcome back. I'm Stefania Jimenez, and here's what we're working on for you tonight on The Night Beat. Uvalde School District is less than 2 weeks away from a new school year, and with their new police chief gone, what's next? We're going to look into those answers and hear how another Texas school is recovering years after their own school shooting.
To be honest with you, all the safety and security protocols that we put into place in our district may seem overwhelming for some people that don't really understand our situation.
Now we're going to visit with the police chief for Santa Fe ISD tonight. Also, a case of the monkeypox now confirmed at a jail in Harris County. We're asking the Bexar County Sheriff's Office about protocols at their own jail. Plus, we're going to meet one of the high school students set to take the field in the KSAT Pigskin Classic. Those stories and a lot more tonight on The Night Beat.
Thanks, Stefania. 1 year ago tomorrow, the suicide bombing at the Kabul airport killed Afghans and U.S. soldiers during the chaotic end to America's longest war. Narrowly missing the death and destruction was a young Afghan and his pregnant wife who left the very next day. They ended up here in San Antonio, along with thousands of other Afghan refugees. Jesse DeGollado says their new life here has been eventful, but in a much different way.
Like most proud parents, the Mirbat Zais have big hopes for their 5-month-old daughter, Masa.
She will be a great leader in the United States.
A great leader, they believe, for other Afghans who, like her parents, fled the madness of the Taliban takeover. Bilal and his pregnant wife saw it from the bus, taking them to the airport in Kabul.
It's like unbelievable things that's happening.
Unbelievable things, he says. Their country was in collapse. A year later, domestic bliss, thanks to resettlement agencies like Refugee Services of Texas, where he now works, helping other Afghans.
To feel that they're not displaced, to feel that they're not stateless.
Help! A former Paralympic champion in Afghanistan, he even played with the wheelchair Spurs last year.
I'm feeling very proud and feeling very lucky.
Luckier, he says, than other Afghans, struggling with a lack of housing and jobs or speaking English. I'm told for the 4,000 Afghan refugees who are now here in San Antonio, their biggest concern is their uncertain future.
What will happen about our status?
How do we facilitate citizenship status long term for our clients?
Still, they say they see their infant daughter as their future.
Our baby give us like new hopes, new life, and everything has changed now.
Jesse Degollado, KSAT 12 News.
Sky 12 right now live over downtown San Antonio. You know, it's humid.
Oh my, it is
but it's
so
not,
humid out there.
It's not 100.
But hey, we've had some good rain to talk about, and I know we've had a lot of different chances. We kind of been all over the board. That's a good thing.
And going forward, I think it's going to be all over the board as well. So this pattern isn't just ending right now. Yes, it's quieting down for several days, but take a look at our rain chances and you will see that they rise back up into next week. I mean, we're back to 40% by next Wednesday. Of course, a lot of time between now and then, and we will be fine-tuning the forecast and possibly even raising some of those chances or switching them to different days next week. So check back in for the updates. But bottom line is this pattern's not just completely finishing and it's back to nothing but sunshine and lack of clouds. We have opportunities every day, just better opportunities into next week. Not much out there right now. You get down near Yorktown, one little shower is coming to an end. That's it. That's all we have. But you look at the past 12 hours, and we had some good rainfall. A little too much of a good thing for a bit in Uvalde with some flash flooding out there earlier today, especially into the early afternoon. And most of the action was south of San Antonio and south of Highway 90, other than those locations west of town. But that's where the boundary was set up, and that boundary is starting to wash out and isn't going to be really a factor in helping to kickstart showers and storms tomorrow through the weekend. So lower chances. But you see the clouds lingering off to the west where we've had the rain for a good portion of the day today. It has impacted temperatures even south of us with those extra clouds through most of the day. Pleasanton 80, San Antonio right now we're 92, 74 in Uvalde, and 77 right now in Eagle Pass, but well into the 90s where we've had plenty of sunshine. Gonzales now 96, New Braunfels at 95. So obviously the rain and the clouds from earlier today having an impact on some of those temperatures. Divine 92, but Uvalde at 94 degrees. Here's a look at our trend, though. Below 100. I mean, we're talking low to mid 90s for the foreseeable future. I think the warmest we'll get is about 95, and that's on Sunday. So by and large, not the triple digits that we had all of July and even to start August, looking like the 90s. And keep in mind, the average high is 95 right now. Humid. We talked about this. We mentioned it. Dew points, 60s and well into the 70s. And as we go through the evening, these numbers are just going to climb a little bit more and it's going to get even muggier through the night. And we're going to have dew points in the mid 70s tonight, tomorrow morning, and then not much of a drop off into tomorrow afternoon. It's going to stay very sticky and humid outside. More of a tropical air mass that's in place, actually. So here's your KSAT 12-hour forecast. 7 a.m., 76 degrees. By 9 a.m., we're at 80. And I think partly cloudy to start the day, a mixture of sun and clouds. By the noon hour, about a 20% chance of a shower, and then only 30% throughout the afternoon tomorrow. So some pop-up showers here and there and maybe a few downpours, but more isolated in nature and not a whole lot of coverage across our area. Hondo 93 tomorrow, Bulverde, Bernie 91, 94, the high temperature in Seguin. Looking ahead, we mentioned those temperatures only in the 90s, so we're not talking triple digits again, not even close actually, mid 90s on Sunday, and those rain chances looking a little better again by Wednesday of next week.
All right, thank you, Adam.
All right, Larry, this is a big guy, but his injury is huge for the Cowboys.
Yeah, Tyron Smith, starting left tackle for the Dallas Cowboys, one of the best left tackles in the NFL. It appears he might be out the entire season after a pretty devastating injury yesterday. That's why they drafted Tyler Smith, so a young man may have to start at left tackle. Plus, we have two BGC previews coming up today, Harlandale and Poteet coming up.
Camping with KSAT, powered by Davis Law Firm.
Dallas Cowboys already had question marks on the offensive line heading into the new season and now face a major problem after left tackle Tyron Smith went down in practice yesterday with an avulsion fracture of the knee, and he's out until at least December, maybe longer. Simply put, his left hamstring tore and came off the bone while he was blocking on a running play. With 2 weeks before the regular season, the Cowboys need to figure out the left side of the offensive line, and fast. Smith is 31 years old and entering his 12th NFL season. The Houston Texans will close out their preseason schedule tonight at home with the San Francisco 49ers at 7:15. After playing left guard last season, Titus Howard shifted back to his natural right tackle spot this season. The Texans picked up his 2023 fifth-year option, which he says gave him extra confidence. He's 6'5", 322 pounds, and an aggressive blocker, thanks in large part to his big bro.
I think I just always been like that. I had an older brother when I was a kid. And everybody knows when you got an older brother and you're the younger brother. I was smaller than my brother growing up, so I had to have that little extra oomph in me, to fight with him and stuff like that. I just carried it over to football. It's just all about finishing. When you finish people and then you block them, you get the pancake, it just give you more momentum for the next play. So I try to get those type of plays to give me more momentum to finish the game out even stronger.
Make sure to watch for Niners rookie number 74 Spencer Burford tonight. He's having a great camp and is in line to start week 1 at right guard. The Wagner and UTSA great is the real deal. The 2022 high school football regular season starts tonight with a handful of area games, but the Harlandale Indians won't kick off until tomorrow night with Veterans Memorial. Led by head coach Albert Torres, the Indians return 8 starters this season, 6 on offense, 2 on defense. Some players to watch include running back Zion Molina, wide receiver Saxon Langenberg, and offensive lineman Rene Casillas. Harlandale will play in a different district this season, 14-5A Division II, and they'll now face the likes of Alamo Heights, Brackenridge, and Lanier once they begin at district play. Ready to go?
Coming from a very hard district last year, we're expected to see similar teams, similar competition, so it should be a dogfight every game.
For our community, because we don't have to travel to Austin, or we're going down south to Laredo, so it's pretty close. So it's all the schools that are inside 410, so it won't be too much travel. So that'll be a good thing.
Harlandale will face San Antonio Veterans Memorial tomorrow night at 7 at Harlandale Memorial Stadium. Let's head to Poteet now to check in with the Aggies, led by head coach Darby House. The Aggies have 9 starters coming back from last season's squad that went 10-2 overall with a perfect 6-0 mark in District 14-3A D1. Players to watch include wide receiver DB Darren Garcia and lineman Joe Nathan Guzman, who will anchor both sides of the line. Last season, the Aggies won their first playoff game since 1958 per Dave Campbell's Texas football, and they want to build off of that success.
Last year it was our first time making the playoffs in a while, and it's going to help us build off of this year, help us get better and know what we got to do to make it past the second round.
We have the experience of what it feels like of being in round 2, so now I feel like we can go past that and explode through the walls and just go out there and do what we do best.
Poteet will play at Bandera tomorrow night at 7. It is here.
BGC time.
Wow.
Right. You know how I know that?
The Temps?
The Temps who are over here to help us out on Friday nights.
1, 2, 3. What do we
Hi,
got? 4?
guys.
Oh, 5. Oh, no, that's Dan. You're not a Temp. Sorry.
Oh, Dan is Mr. BGC.
That's right, he is.
That's right.
Cash V.
That's right.
Thank you, Larry, and the Temps.
And Cash V.
Still to come at 6. They are part of the fabric of organized sports. We're talking about the umpires, the referees, the people that call the games. And right now, they're in short supply. Why that is, and how one group is looking for a remedy.
And some celebrating President Joe Biden's student loan relief plan, but not everybody happy about it. The latest from Washington next. And now to President Joe Biden's student loan forgiveness decision, giving relief to millions of Americans. The move getting mixed reactions across the country, some calling it a welcome relief, others saying it's unfair. ABC's Rena Roy has the latest.
A celebration outside the White House Thursday. People from both sides of the aisle praising President Biden's student loan forgiveness for about 43 million Americans.
We're going to cancel 10,000 today. We're going to cancel 10,000 again and again and again and again.
The move forgives up to $10,000 for people earning less than $125,000 a year, $250,000 for a couple.
I made a commitment that would provide student debt relief, and I'm honoring that commitment today.
My family, my wife is still paying student loans, so it would be very helpful for us.
It also forgives up to $20,000 for low-income borrowers who received Pell Grants. And the pandemic pause on student loan repayment gets extended through the end of this year.
We're targeting those who are struggling right now to help get them on their feet, and that helps everyone.
Some are hoping this is just the first step.
Now, I want to be clear. Our work is not yet done.
We're going to keep fighting until we get everyone's student loan debt canceled and we get free college.
NAACP President and CEO Derek Johnson speaking with ABC News.
We're talking about people who did exactly what they were told to do, got an education, to be productive citizens. It is a small drop in the bucket. By putting people above profits, that is something to commend this administration for.
But some Republicans have called it unfair, including Senator Marsha Blackburn, tweeting Biden's decision is a gimmick that won't help middle-class Americans. Minority Leader Mitch McConnell calling it astonishingly unfair and a slap in the face to every family who sacrificed to save for college, every graduate who paid their debt. So far, no word on when the program will roll out and what it will actually cost. Since the loan forgiveness announcement was made on Wednesday, the Department of Education's website has been crashing, presumably because so many people want to find out if they're eligible. Rena Roy, ABC News, New York.
News around America now. Long COVID is keeping up to 4 million Americans from working. That's according to a new study from the Brookings Institution. Long COVID is a combination of symptoms that emerge months or even years after recovering from the virus. People suffering from it face a range of symptoms that can make it challenging to work, including brain fog, anxiety, depression, fatigue, and breathing problems. The Brookings Institution estimates 2 to 4 million people are out of work because of long COVID. Now, even if you split the difference there, 3 million is estimated to be 1.8% of the U.S. workforce.
The housing market getting rougher for buyers and sellers. The average rate for a 30-year fixed mortgage rose to nearly 5.6% this week. That's according to Freddie Mac. That's close to twice the rate from the year before, although it is down from June. Real estate agents say the high mortgage rates are stopping some potential home buyers from making purchases. In July, sales of existing homes in the U.S. dropped for the 6th time in as many months. There is no organized sports without them, but sports officials are getting hard to come by. What one organization says is happening to umpires, referees, and field judges. Coming up next. The high school football season kicks off tonight, but one team often overlooked: officials. There's a shortage of referees across the San Antonio area and the state. RJ Marquez spoke to the local chapter of officials about why many refs are leaving the profession and how it's affecting the action on the field.
Dave Maxwell is entering his 30th season as a Texas high school football official.
It's a brotherhood, and the reason, at the end of the day, why I do it is because the other guys on the field with me.
Maxwell is the vice president of the San Antonio chapter of the Texas Association of Sports Officials. As the association gets ready for its new season, they're doing it with smaller numbers.
We have a new member class in San Antonio of 60 officials. At the end of the first year, that group of 60 will probably be down to 30.
Maxwell says the main reason it's been difficult to keep officials coming back is verbal abuse from fans, coaches, and players.
It's become uncomfortable at times. Yelling, that you think that was a holding call in the stands versus following the officials to their car is crossing a line.
And Dave tells us that this chapter of TASO covers 116 high schools, all the way from Gonzales stretching to Eagle Pass and Del Rio. And right now there's a shortage of 100 officials locally and 900 across the state. The average age of San Antonio officials is close to 60, but TASO is making efforts to recruit younger officials and more women.
There's a program that the state office has put together, and it's called WOW. women officials working. We also have a task force for recruiting and retention.
Maxwell knows that fans and coaches are passionate, but he also wants them to be respectful.
It doesn't need to be threats of violence. Tonight's the first varsity game of the season, but my crew started working football back in March.
RJ Marquez, KSAT 12 News.
We are just 2 days away from the first ever KSAT Pigskin Classic this Saturday at the Alamo Dome. Scanning this QR code will take you to our website. All the information you need there. Tickets are $20 at the box office, but you can also get your tickets at Las Palapas locations for $15.
That's for all 3 games. Now, students at the participating high schools can get tickets from the athletic departments for just $8. The KSAT Pigskin Classic this Saturday, August 27th, inside the Dome. Pre-game starts at 11 a.m. This QR code will take you to information on parking, Alamo Dome policies, and how to be part of our KSAT Insider watch parties that will also be taking place inside the Dome.
All right now we want to take you from Sky 12. This is a look here at a growing demonstration. You're looking at Main Plaza. A group there is gathering to protest what happened today in Texas. The effect of the Texas trigger law. It went into effect today, which bans all abortions in Texas, of course, after the U.S. Supreme Court overturned Roe versus Wade.
Yeah, they're terming this a peaceful march where they will take off from Main Plaza, walk along the Riverwalk. Of course, we'll have much more on this protest coming up on the Night Beat at 10. But right now, let's talk to our friend Adam Caskey, who's been working on Pigskin Classic preparations, I know.
Yes.
Just in the last few minutes.
Well, we're going to be getting into that very shortly. I've been having some fun, and it's only going to get more fun.
And you know what that means.
Oh, we'll get into it in just a bit. Oh, so good, so fun. 93 degrees, that was our high temperature today. That's sunshine this afternoon. It goes a long way. The average high is 95, the record 102 on this day. But you look off to the west and noticeably lower high temperatures, 84 Uvalde and Rock Springs and even 87 in Cotulla. That's where we had some showers and, of course, extra clouds for the majority of the day. The newest drought monitor is in. We're going to take a look at it, and I'll let you know the percentage change week to week in the various categories coming right up.
Turn to the weather now, and I'm not being sarcastic when I say this. I have genuinely been looking forward to seeing the new drought monitor this week after the rain we've had.
Yeah, to see a change.
Exactly.
I'm hoping.
Yeah. The one little catch here is that the rain we got yesterday isn't taken into account in this week's drought monitor. We have to wait until next week's to see that reflected. So it can take a few weeks to really see the full effects of a stretch of rain like what we had this week. But there were some improvements, and we're going to get to that in a moment. More rain chances ahead. Yeah, they're very low the next couple of days, but I do think better odds again as we get into next week. We could see those rain chances rise again, and high temperatures staying under 100 degrees. Take a look at the rain chances. Just 30% tomorrow afternoon, and then a few random, highly isolated pop-ups this weekend and even into Monday. So generally speaking, dry, but very humid, of course, feeling tropical. And then next week, I do think we could stir things up a bit more to see some of the more numerous showers develop again by the middle of next week. And as a result of this pattern that we're in, high temperatures, looks like the warmest we'll get is 95 over the upcoming weekend. Okay, here's the newest drought monitor, and 87% of Texas is in drought, which is an improvement compared to last week, and it should be even further improvement by this time next week. And I want to show you the percent changes week to week, just since last week. So these are the drought categories: exceptional, extreme, severe, moderate, and then just the yellows, abnormally dry. You look at the change, the worst categories are down 18% compared to just last week, and likely chipped away even more as we get into next week. Now, that said, some of the lower categories of drought, the less severe drought, they did rise a little bit. But again, anything that fell from those clouds after 8 a.m. on Tuesday wasn't accounted for in this drought monitor. So another update coming this time next week. The rainfall today, mostly south of San Antonio and even west. Uvalde had some flash flooding earlier today and some good soaking rain for the ranches and all the land down to the south of us. It's good to see that again. And that's an area that's actually had some decent rainfall lately, so likely to have that drought monitor chipped away even more significantly by this time next week. A little bit of circulation off moving into Louisiana. That's throwing some more showers their way and right along the Gulf coastline. 92 right now, a lot of sunshine. Dew point is 66. No breeze. That's the kicker. The wind is calm. That air is not moving. It feels like it's 3 degrees warmer than the air temperature. Alpine, 77. That would be nice. 77 degrees right now. Meanwhile, 87 Corpus Christi, 93 in Abilene, 76 in Uvalde, and 77 in Eagle Pass. That's where we had the rain and then the clouds, I should say, that stuck around for a bit longer. Right now, Gonzales, 94, 86 though in Hondo, and mostly 90s north and east of San Antonio, where we've had sunshine all day long. Dew points though, these dewies are up. Yeah, they dropped a little bit in the afternoon, but didn't drop to really give us much relief. It's still sticky and muggy outside, and those dew points will be rising again tonight, and it's going to be sticky all day tomorrow. 76 in the morning at 7 a.m., a 10% chance of a shower, then 20 to 30% as we get into tomorrow afternoon. So some of those pop-up afternoon showers here and there, a little just hit or miss and more random in nature than the past couple of days. Mid-90s for the high temperatures. So 94 Castroville and Seguin, 93 the high temperature in Bandera, Nixon Smiley about 93. And as I mentioned before, staying below 100, we remain one elusive day away from the most 100-degree days in a given year. We just can't do it. It's proven to be elusive, right?
I didn't realize we were that close.
Yeah, we're in second
I've been
place.
off. I've been on vacation, so I didn't know. But yeah.
Yeah,
nice.
58 we've had. The record is 59. That was back in 2009. Like thermometer related, but it's engineering and science related, you could say. KSAT Pigskin Classic. Right, this Saturday.
It's a good-looking T-shirt.
It is a good-looking T-shirt. I was tasked with a certain duty for this game.
Which you gladly accept.
I know, wow, yeah.
Take a look
Who
at the
tasked
video.
you with it, yourself?
Maybe.
3, 2, 1.
Oh, yeah.
What?
T-shirt launcher.
You ready, guys?
Oh, not just one, but look, I loaded up with 3. I'm gonna have so much fun at the Alamo Dome.
That is awesome.
This is gonna be awesome. I can shoot these shirts about 3 stories high. So I've been doing some test firing and test folding too, because you need to fold these shirts properly because this is my highest caliber canyon.
Yeah.
And so you really want them nice and snug in there so you get that full pressure push out of it. So I have to fold them a certain way in order to maximize the launch of the shirts, and then I tape them.
That's it right there?
We're going to have a lot of fun. I've got, like 300 or so of these shirts. Oh, even more of a different type, too. I've got like 400 or 500 shirts. This is going to be fun.
You've moved on from confetti. Forget that, man. It's all about T-shirts now.
Hold on, he's saying, hold on.
Never forget the confetti.
Oh, okay.
Don't forget the confetti.
You know, football season.
We're just branching out when it's not Fiesta.
Yeah. More of a full-service canyon.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What else can we shoot out?
Yeah, there you go.
You're going to find out, I know.
The options are endless.
Jeez.
In case you missed it, coming up next. Here's today's In Case You Missed It.
It is Thursday, August 25th.
The Uvalde CISD has now fired Police Chief Pete Arredondo. He was among other police officers present inside the halls of Robb Elementary during that school shooting. Many considered him to be the incident commander.
In a unanimous vote last evening, the school district's board of trustees fired Arredondo during a meeting also attended by parents and survivors of the May 24th shooting.
Arredondo was not present during this hearing. He is the first officer to lose his job in the aftermath of line of duty actions that day.
Jonathan Rodriguez died May 18th, shot while sitting in his car at the Vintage at Oak Hill Apartments on Babcock Road near Loop 410. San Antonio police believe whoever shot him also stole that car. If you have any information on this case, call Crime Stoppers at 210-224-STOP.
The Justice Department now has until tomorrow at noontime to make public a redacted version of the affidavit regarding the Mar-a-Lago search of former President Trump. U.S. Magistrate Judge in Florida making that ruling today. It means the public could soon get a better understanding of what led the FBI to search Mar-a-Lago earlier this month. You can read more about this on KSAT.com.
He is from Europe, and he is only 17 years old, and he just completed an incredible feat. He flew solo around the world, and when he landed back home, he actually broken 2 records. He became the youngest to fly solo around the world, and he did it in a microlight aircraft. That record was set by his sister. She's not upset, more proud, if anything.
You ready? Yeah. 3, 2, 1.
All right. Did that go on the roof?
Yep. Cleared
That's
it.
impressive. And then
there's some
the parking lot.
One more time.
Central Catholic students, is that who got that?
They were out there playing around doing something. I said, "You want some T-shirts?"
That's
3
awesome.
at a time. So this thing shoots 3 at a time? Is that right?
I'm going to stuff it probably with 6, because then you can really cover, all distances within the travel of the shirts.
And
the first
that's
one will launch
important.
far. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I mean, the Coyote at Spurs games just shoots 1 out at a time. I'm just...
Tell me about it. I've noticed.
Are you saying he's slacking?
It's going to be epic at the Alamo Dome on Saturday. I got a lot of folding of shirts to do.
I can see right now a show-off. Kasky versus Coyote.
Canyon versus Coyote.
Oh, bring it. Bring it, Yodi.
We need to work that out sometime.
Yeah, it's going to happen. We'll see you on the Night Beat at 10.